Yo, what's good? It's your boy Eric Bellinger. Right now, I'm hanging out with my man David Duane. You already know what time it is, there.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into On Air with your one and only rock star on the mic, David Duane, in the place to be. And y'all know. It's your favorite song, Eric Bellinger,
Yeah.
which I should have said it's our favorite friend, because
Right.
Eric's
We
been
go
on the
back.
platform so many times. We go way back. The Rebirth 2, if you guys don't have the album, it's out right now. I'm surprised that y'all don't have it, but Eric's joined with us. What's going on, Eric?
Everything is good, man. So I can rest a little easier. I got a big chunk of my brain stress off of my shoulders, just because it's been such a, looked forward to, project just from my fans. And, I knew a lot of people was going to be listening. People that listen to the Rebirth that might not have caught everything I've done in between, up to this point. They probably haven't heard. Some people, they just coming back because they heard Rebirth 2 is out. So I really wanted to do something true to my day one fans, as well as something, that the newer fans and the newer Eric Bellinger, supporters could have that was strong, you know what I mean? Because I knew they was going to be just kind of championing me. So I wanted to give them something to champion.
Right. And I mean, listen, Rebirth 2 is heavy strong. I mean, why did you have to kill the gang like that? Like,
Had to do it, man.
We got to talk about Type of White, because I don't think everybody was expecting for you to do a record with Chris and OG Parker to produce it. It was just like Friday. It was like Thursday. It was like, boom, here we go. Here goes what y'all been asking for. Because a lot of fans were, when are you and Chris going to do a record? When are y'all going to do a record? I know you've written for him, but now here's that record, and it's stupid crazy. Like,
exactly. Nah, man, that song was years in the making. Anybody that knows my relationship with Chris, I've been writing, behind the scenes for him for a long time. And he's just been a long time friend that I feel like it just naturally, organically happened when it was time. Because, of course, writing with Chris, you always want to try to get him on a song,
right.
Of course. But I never wanted to force it. I was always like, man, when it's supposed to happen, I know it's going to happen. And it did. Like that, now is the best time it could have happened. I'm glad it wasn't on any of the projects before, because now it's, actually received amongst other songs that are of high equity. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So every other song is actually complimenting it. And, it's like I don't have just one hit on the album. I got a lot of songs to also accompany it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely do, especially like Action. This happens to be one of my favorite records, and I love the approach of it, because it's not the typical Eric Bellinger record, but it also can be considered as one because it has those elements of music that you've done previously before.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Action is one that's interesting because, that was like not too many harmonies. You know what I mean? It's not your traditional Eric Bellinger song. It was something super catchy and something, I wanted to give people a lot of different sounds on the new album. You know what I mean? So, it's not one song all the way through. Each song is actually a whole different vibe. You know what I mean?
Right. And I feel like the album brings such a vibe. Like Sunday night, you had a show at SOBs, and it was crazy. People know the words already. I mean, every time you drop a project, they know the words already. Shit, I had to make sure I knew all the words already. I was like, let me play this song on repeat over and over and over and over again. But being able to have such an effect on your fans and being able to increase the fan base, because that's all you've been doing over the years. I mean, even with the Eventually project and Easy Call last year, like, how does that feel to be able to just kind of keep the fan base going?
Right, exactly. I just look at it like, if you worry about the fans that you don't have, you'll miss out on continuing to build the organic fan base from the fans that have been rocking with you since day one. I always just make sure I cater to the people that have been with me, because they're going to be the ones that are my street soldiers. They're going to be the ones telling the world they need to press play on Eric Bellinger. So I definitely like to feed the new fans, feed the old fans, but at the same time be appealing, to people that haven't heard any of my music, or they're just familiar or just haven't heard it yet, because there's no doubt in my mind the first time people hear it, they're instant fans. There's no back and forth about if it's good, because the music is good. need a lot more ears on it, and I think all that has been coming just organically. Just you can't hide good music.
Exactly. And I
Exactly.
and you can't hide good music, especially with Easy Call. Let's kind of take it back a little bit because last year the album was crazy, tour was phenomenal, Gold 2.0. I mean, what the fuck? Like the whole campaign of that was just so wild. From the dance challenges to people doing their own verses to actually really working radio. There was no stop to that, and I mean, the record did what, gold, right?
Yep, it did, and we worked for it, man. It went gold, and there wasn't one spin that I felt I didn't earn. I definitely did the 4 radio runs. I did. Well, I mean, just 4 runs in general. I did a press run in New York. I did a radio run around the country. I did a dance studio challenge run around the country. Like we definitely get it. It's no surprise to me when the numbers come back or when the outcome is what it is, because it's like we put the in, and we, dedicated and just sacrificed for it, So
Right.
when it does happen, I'm always like, fine, but I'm not surprised ever. You get what you put in every time.
Exactly. And I got to talk to you about Main Thing, because that happens to be one of my personal favorites from the project. And I just feel like it's such a summer vibe. The video was just so amazing, just the whole concept.
Thank you.
Like being able to kind of like change the concept of your videos just a little bit and everything just kind of be different per song and per project. How was it for you with Main Thing and just channeling something different?
With Main Thing, I actually had that song, and I knew it was West Coast. I knew I needed to get somebody West Coast on there. Dom Kennedy, somebody I'm a big fan of. It was interesting because when I told him, like, yo, this is the part I want you to get on right here, second verse. I played the first verse, I played the hook, and then it was an open second verse, and he was like, I think you should rap on the second verse. And I was like, bro, I brought you here to rap on the second verse.
Like, that's what you're here for.
Yeah, that's what you're here for. Like, nah, just trust me. He was like, I got you. I'll do like an intro or something for you. But he was like, how about you just rap? And then he said, you should just start off like Usher did when he was like, they called me U.S. He was like, just spell your name and then just see where it take you. 15 minutes later, I was like, I think I got something, bro. I went in there late and he came out and he was just like, I told you, and it was just organic. And then later on, he ended up hopping on a remix just to give the record some more life. Like back in the day, that's how Dom thinks. He's not like, let's just put it out and let's do it. He's like, okay, and later I'll do a remix. And then sure enough, he wasn't just selling Wolf tickets. A couple months later, he was like, yo, I think they ready for that remix now. You still want me to do it? I'm like, that's what happens when you got somebody that's just a real one, and that's why I like working with LA people. It's real. Like, they know it's just a different energy with people that kind of are born in LA, and they know like what we should be doing and what NWA did and how we should be sticking together. Like Atlanta has so much success, and I feel like now we're really starting to come together as a region, in general, and it's showing, with Mustard and YG, and everybody is just doing it. Proud of the West right now.
Exactly. And when you just mentioned remix, even kind of reminds me with Spare Time with Wale hopping on that. Like, I think that remix, that song is crazy. Like, let's talk about that record, because I feel like a lot of people are still kind of sleep on that record, but I listen to that like all the time. Let's kind of talk about, just putting out the regular version on eventually the EP and then having Wale hop on it.
Okay, so with that song came together as, just a song that I actually got with Willie Donut, who did Jeremiah's song We, and I just love the song. So if you listen, it's kind of got a familiar vibe as that song, and then I released it, and once it was time to do the remix, it was something natural that, me being around Wale all the time, that's how we get the songs together. I don't look at them no more as another Wale feature. Like, oh, we got another Wale feature. It's like, nah, we just got so many songs together that, you know what I mean? I'm stacked up. Like, we just got a lot of records, and it's really like us creating, and we just make great music and great bops together that, I know the fans love. So anytime I can get an excuse, I almost put that Spare Time remix on the Rebirth too on this album.
Really?
Almost. Yeah, I almost did, but it was some older songs that I really wanted to highlight that people I knew hadn't heard, because that was the whole point of it all, just to bring people up to speed with some songs that they might not have caught in the past. And I know songs like Famous and Privacy are, more songs that, didn't really see the light of day or, get the eyes on them that they could have, just because now we got so much more fans and so many, more people paying attention. So it's like, why not bring them back? Because I look at it like some songs might be old to most, but they're new to the world, and I definitely, like I said, want to cater to the old fans and the day one fans, but at the same time, we got to bring these people up to speed out here and what we've been doing for the past decade.
Exactly. And I think that's what's been the most important thing about you doing the Rebirth projects and stuff like that, and just saying, you know what, let me do another one, and kind of keeping like that same trend that you even had with Born to Sing Volume 1, 2, 3, stuff like that. It just keeps that trend there of, hey, I've got this other music, but this is going to give you another opportunity to catch back up.
Yep, exactly. That's the same exact formula, that we did with Rebirth 1. So Rebirth 2, it was like a no-brainer. I was like, let me pick 16 songs. And only picking 16 for disc 1 was actually a task, because I got so many songs I was kicking off at the last minute. It's like, all right, I'm going to have to use that for this. And some songs might have been extra crazy, but they just fit another theme of another project that I got coming in a couple months, so maybe I just had to wait. It wasn't no songs that just didn't make it because they weren't good enough. It was just like, man, I have to actually be strategic in what I'm doing, because I get overlooked if it's not presented and released the right way in the right amount of time. With what's going on in the climate, it all matters. It all matters.
It definitely does. So before we even talk about the songwriting, because there have been a few songs that you've written over the years that I've been saying to you, like, oh my gosh, like, damn, that's hot, damn, that's hot, damn, that's hot. But let's talk about the branding of the Rebirth 2.
Okay.
Because the merchandise is crazy. That this album actually is a VR album. If people
Yeah.
haven't even noticed, like, there's visuals that everybody can check out that's on your official YouTube page, but it actually comes, like, if they go to your website, they can actually order goggles and watch the videos through that experience.
Right, exactly.
So bringing that whole experience, because I know that's something that you have kind of going on within your studio at the house, is like that.
Yeah.
How was it bringing that whole experience to now the Rebirth 2 and just kind of like coinciding everything?
It was just natural because I was creating music, and at the same time, people would come by and do VR, because we actually have it at my house for people to kind of pass time with. So as we was playing, it was so natural to integrate the music into the gaming. As we was coming up with video treatments, we was actually watching Ready Player One on mute, same way I used to watch Avatar on mute. And with that, as we're doing, making music, as we're looking up at the screen, it's like, wow, that's the music video. Wow, that's the cover. Wow, that's, and it was something that was just really natural that, it was easily able to translate, because we were living it every day.
Yeah. And I think that's incredible, just being able to translate what you were already going through, because a lot of people, as they'll drop projects and do different things that's not true to what they're used to. And it's kind of like,
You can see
bruh.
it.
Yeah, you can see it. How do you feel about
Definitely.
seeing artists that do that and it's not true to them?
Right, exactly, bro. And I think that, that's what is going to always separate me, because it's going to be so real, like people going to just be able to believe it. They're going to be able to relate. My concepts are situations that we all go through. It's real songs. I'm not writing space songs. Like I'm writing space soul, but it ain't like, I'm just like singing about Mars or something that's not actually relatable. I'm singing about everyday things, So many women are like, oh my God, Innocent, you just wrote the song of my life with Innocent. Like, I know that. Like, I know. Like, it's on purpose. It's not an accident. I'm like, all right, cool. Some people can write songs about bashing women, and I'm gonna just write the songs that I want to sing. Period.
Right. And you're
But it's
writing.
interesting because even Chris Brown could say these hoes ain't loyal, and the girls are gonna scream it anyway. So what I mean? It's just how it works. But I definitely wanted to do something that would make women really feel like this is their song. This is actually my song. I'm really out here innocent because ain't nobody speaking from that perspective. But I do think it's some good girls out there, some good humans out there. You just gotta be, come out a little more.
Exactly. And I think people are really getting appreciating for your writing on these recent projects, especially this new one, a lot more, because I feel like we can tell that you have a lot of growth, as an artist, as a man, You see that being a husband, being a father has, not saying like you
Yeah.
were completely bad because you weren't bad, but it's like it's changed
Right.
you and it's opened your mind to like new different topics to even explore on these projects.
Exactly. Nah, that's 100%, man. I had to go through it to get to it. I had to live it in order to write it. So, as time has progressed and I've seen different things, I've traveled the world and I've actually gotten used to walking in Eric Bellinger's shoes. It's caused me to, over time, just become someone that I'm proud of, and I know my son will be proud of, and my family, can look to me and I can be their hero. Same as an aspiring songwriter from Wisconsin doesn't have any means or doesn't know where to start. I want to be the example to let my life kind of project the possibilities are endless by just executing ideas that start off in your brain. And if you take the right steps and come up with a proper plan, it will be serviced to the masses, which it deserves to be.
Well, your music definitely deserves to be, and I think the masses have had their hands all over it, and people don't even know what to do with this project.
Right. I know. That's why I didn't release the VR shit like the same day, just because I knew it was like too much. So I've been like layering, like unraveling layers of the project one at a time, like doing it real slow, because people just. It's educational now. It's in an educational state now more so than just dropping.
Right.
I'm explaining it. I'm showing VR goggles, and then I'm gonna show like a little bit of the world, and you just kind of got to break it down for people, and I'm good with that because I know that their first impression and their first memory of what is the future will be experienced with me for the first time.
Exactly. So let's talk about these
popping VR cherries. 2019.
I can't deal. So let's talk about these songwriting placements, like Three Way with Tiana, Peace Sign with Seven, The Light, Jeremiah, Ty. For all three of those, I could like literally punch you in your face. Cause what the fuck
crazy.
were you on? Like, what?
Yeah. Man, it's easier for me to write for other people when my music is finished. Because, a lot of times people, why'd you get out of the way? Or why'd you get out of the way? But I was so confident and secure in the Rebirth sounding like platinum sauce that I was able to go into sessions with a clear mind. So when you hear, like, Jeremiah, when you hear Three Way Tiana, it's like I was completely in an unselfish space. I was completely in a mode of what can I do to give them the best record possibly can, because the writing is what got me here, and I know what it's going to be what keeps me here as well.
Right. And I know that's definitely something that you want to continue to do this year, right?
For sure, man. I got some stuff coming with everybody. Like, if I say now, I don't know. I had some bullshit happen with Nicki Minaj. One said that I worked on a record, so let me chill. Niggas don't want people to know you worked on the songs, but a lot of stuff coming, man. Really, like, I'm really just gonna have a year. Like, I already know it. I knew what the project would do before I did it. I knew what it was while I was creating it. It's the same thing, like, with the timeline of the new albums coming out from everybody's favorite artists that I had so much to do with. The input and creative behind it, that is just a matter of time. Everything, aligns itself, and, people can see the Rebirth 2 on the charts, top 10 single type of way, boom. Appleberry 99 type of way, boom. And you got another single from this artist that I just another one from this artist that I wrote, and it's all gonna pile up at the same time, and I'm just gonna be standing there with a big Mr. Clean smile, like I told y'all.
Exactly. And how does that now feel? To being able to be out of not totally be out of the songwriter lane, but now everybody's seeing Eric Bellinger, the artist. Because I know before when we done plenty of interviews, we text all the time, we talk about this, but being able to see it now in this own shine, how is that feeling? Because I know it's got to feel like,
it's feeling good, man. It's overwhelming. It's reassuring, because when you see something and you're the only one that thinks it, wow, to go crazy. It's like, man, y'all don't see what's going on over here. Y'all don't see how crazy these songs are. It's not like the songs just got crazy. It's not like the videos just got crazy. It's not like the songs just got crazy. I just look at it like, the timing. The timing is just now. It's been a void for a little while of greatness. It's been a void in a while of the standard being so low that any artist could come out and be called great. So I figured if I do enough things around the music, people would actually be forced to pay attention in a way that was, not to be reckoned with. You know, it was like, yo, okay, he's really going crazy. The music is crazy. The vision is crazy. All that stuff is adding up. And, you know, just because, you know, people aren't necessarily looking for it at this point, they can't even hide from it. You know what I mean? It's to the point now
Right.
where it's like, what is this Eric Bellinger? Who is this guy? And it's just, you know, for me, you know, super humbling because I was patient. You know, I was really, 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 really patient. And now to see it all come to fruition is nothing short of a blessing and God's miracle.
Amen to that. And you've been like real patient. I mean, even patient of
Okay.
listening
Yeah.
to, you know, the rant and the rave of everybody going about who the king of R&B is, which inspires you to come out with King that's on the new project.
King actually came from Jacquees coming out with some bullshit, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I got you. And I just dropped it. Like there, 2 days later, like that's what I do. You know, like I get my shit off through song. You know, I'm able to articulate myself best through lyric and melody. So, you know, same way as like when Tori, you know, dropped the joint, I can come back with a song that'll be, you know, mind blowing. So the same thing with, you know, Jacquees is like, yo, King R&B. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just show people that I'm the king of life, you know,
Right.
and represent my queen and actually make it more so about love, you know, the competitive nature. I'm gonna just tell my story because I'm actually a king
Exactly.
in real life.
And why do you think that there's been that try to downplay every like why do you think that he would do something like what goes through a man's mind to kind of like do something like that? Because that's crazy. I mean, a king is a
Yeah.
king and queen's a queen, so it's like kind of like shouldn't as kings we be unified together and uplift
Yeah,
versus
that's what I think. But I feel, you know, it's just a different trolling age right now. And at first, when he dropped that little video, I was just like, okay, because I take it serious, you know. So to
right,
the music, for me, I'm like, I'm ready to go. But then I saw a couple more videos, and I was like, oh, he laughing, he trolling, he not even taking it serious. But you know, I look at it like, you know, the rap community, yes, it's very competitive on some I'm number one, I'm the best. R&B community is more so about spreading love and, you know, it's for the women. So when it's like, you know, somebody say something and speaks that out of turn, it's kind of like the R&B community step up in a way that, you know, he didn't expect. You know, just because such a respected genre, it has a lot more couth and a lot more than, you know, the urban rap community does now. So when he said that, it just stood out like a sore thumb. You know, I want him to drop some smashes, but
right. With
it's
him
like
actually singing and not
with him
tuning
actually singing.
and not dancing like I don't know what he's
I don't know
doing
what he be
currently.
doing. It's
And
just interesting because I'm just looking at him like, damn, like you singing covers and you're not polished. It's just a joke to me. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just laugh with him and not at him anymore.
right. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's all he's taking it as a joke.
It's
So
a
it's like,
joke.
why not
Mm-hmm.
joke along and
Circus
have a
Barnum and
couple
Bailey.
laughs? Right.
Right, and it's cool. It's like I get it. Like it's just different. Like I'm really doing different. Like my
like
shit's really on another level, man.
you
I'm really
do
like,
R&B for real,
I
for
really
real.
make music. Yeah, that's gonna touch you. You gonna feel it in your soul. You want it on low in the background. You want to listen to it every day. It's not a one time listen. It's a daily listen.
It's
So I
definitely a
pride
daily
myself in
listen.
making songs that are catchy enough to stick in your head. So streaming whether you press play or not, streaming on your brain
Hmm.
without technology because the melody is so catchy. It created a memory when you heard it, and you can remember where you were. And that's what, you know, Jagged Edge, J.E. Heartbreak did for me back in the day. Lauren, Much Education, Brandy Full Moon. So I tried to create that same effect to stay with people, even when they get out of their car, off the treadmill, take the headphones off. The music is still playing in their head.
Yeah.
That's what gets people to continue to listen.
And having lyrical substance, and that's what you've been consistently. Like I'm always sharing your music. I mean, you know, I've got friends that are
Lauren Hill.
hell. Like my nephew was dancing to goat. I was like, you have a way of like with music and knowing what people want to hear versus this other stuff, and I think it's very important that a lot of young artists that are up and coming need to take note of what you do because it's a good
I love
formula to
it.
follow.
It's just a formula. That's how I'm able to recreate it over and over every time because I'm doing the same thing in a different way. It's like I'm not recreating the wheel, just creating a wave.
Exactly. So now new R&B artists, there are a lot of dope ones that are out, Eric, and I know there's a few that you listen to. Are there a few that you can say that you love that you would like to work with?
Yeah, man. I mean, like Alina Perez and SZA and Kalani. You know, I like the female R&B community right now. It's kind of going up.
I see Ella was showing you love a few days too.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm a big Ella Mai fan, man. I actually like her album. I feel like, you know, when people listen to Boot Up, it's dope. But then when you listen to her album, they got a lot of dope R&B songs on.
Yeah, it's about getting into the whole album versus just the singles, because that's that's all everybody wants to hear. Oh, let's listen to the singles, but I'm not going to buy the album. Nah, get
Yes,
into the whole
singles
body.
is gonna get them. Singles is gonna get them, but the album is gonna keep them.
Because even with Trip, like I love that record, even though it's still kind of going a little crazy that people don't like it because they choose an old boys version. But it's like that whole album, Easy, is a bop. Like what?
It's a bop. Crazy, right?
It's a complete bop. So now, Eric, what's next? Because I know there's so much outside of just this project, which everybody needs to download right now. Rebirth 2. If y'all don't have it, I am going to fuck everybody up because they should
Right.
already have it. But what else is going on? Can we expect the tour soon? Because everybody's
Definitely.
like, come to Philly, come here, come there, come there.
Yeah, man. I want to do the Rebirth 2 World Tour. Or just the Rebirth World Tour, really. You know, I do songs from the first Rebirth, second Rebirth, and just all of them. And I think it's just the overall rebirth of Eric Bellinger in my career, although I'm doing the same thing and I'm being consistent and persistent with everything that I'm doing with my formulas, my family, and writing. And I'm just persisting in my own world, continuing to stay a student of the game. It's the rebirth to the world and to the masses because a lot of people might have known of the name, might have heard of it, but we doing something so natural, rebirth in my entire career, starting over from scratch. And I worked hard to get here, but I'm ready to go all the way back to the top, all the way over, keep it going.
Exactly. And you know what you should do, Eric, that I've not even got a chance to tell you should do with the tour? You should tour overseas with the world tour before you even do US dates. Any more US dates.
That's what I think that like last year. Smart though, because it's like LA, they kind of get to see and all the states and states in the U.S. in general, just see and appreciate like, wow, out there going crazy, like you be right here in our backyard, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to you come here and they might have just saw you or something like that. So I definitely feel you because they for sure appreciate you a lot more overseas because it's more out of sight, out of mind over there. So when you do come, they have to pull up because they know you ain't coming back. LA, they know they might get me next week, they might get me in 3 weeks. But overseas, it's like everybody comes out. It's crazy.
LA gets everything from you like every other 2 weeks. They like, nigga, when you hosting this? They don't let you breathe. But it's good because you having that fan base now lets you know what, I'm doing my job. And guess what? I'm only going to
Exactly.
continue and to perfect and give y'all what y'all want versus what everybody else is trying to feed y'all, which is nonsense.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you what you need, what you don't even know you need. That's what happens. You know what I mean, when you're a trendsetter, when you're a leader of the new school, when you're a leader of the wave, you don't exist in the current times. You always thinking about what's next. You're always thinking about, you know, what's the new thing that nobody doing naturally because you don't like to be a follower. I'm the opposite of a follower. I'm the furthest thing from a follower, and I think that's what gives me my identity is my uniqueness. So I try to expand upon that and enhance that as much as possible and shine the most light on my originality and who I am and the ideas that I have most because that's what's gonna separate me from the other jokers out here.
Well, Eric, listen, all those mother jokers don't even need to be focused about because you're R&B. Everybody needs to, continue to, dive into music. And I gotta say, of course, thank you always for coming back and allowing us to support you. And just congratulations on everything. I mean, I can say it in 1,000 words, but we ain't got all day to do
Nah,
it.
it's all love, man. I thank you too for coming out whenever I'm in Philly or DC or New York or LA. Pop in. It's always to you, bro. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, Eric, just in case they don't follow you, which I would be kind of upset if they don't, but just in case, tell them where they can follow you and check out the music and download the
Okay.
merch and everything.
Everything is my full name, Eric Bellinger, EricBellinger. That's the Twitter, it's the Instagram, and it's also the website, ericbellinger.com, where I got all the merch and the discography and the music and the videos that I've been putting out, just to catch up, come up to speed on everything we've been doing. Get with all things Eric Bellinger. Rebirth 2 available now on iTunes, all your favorite platforms, Spotify title. So it's easy to find, man. Eric Bellinger, Google the name, vibed out everywhere, every platform, every fit, everything is swag, soft, directional purposes only for the masses.
For sure, for sure. Well, thanks so much again, Eric.
Yep.
Holla at you later, and
Thanks, man.
keep up the good work.
You too, bro. Thanks.
All right.
Later.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Eric Bellinger. Right now I'm hanging out with my man David Duane. You already know what time it is,